Ja, hallo und herzlich willkommen zu Headlock, dem Pro Wrestling Interview. Heute mit einem internationalen Gast, WXW-Superstar, ehemaliger WXW World Unified Wrestling Champion, the French Revolution. Tristan Archer is here with us. Welcome.
Hello, nice to see you, man.
So, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm all good. I got a big, nasty brown eyes, blue eyes. I don't know how to say. Hello, my cat. So I was not talking to you. I got a bruises here, pretty nasty from Passion Pro 2 weeks ago. It's still kind of bruised and blue and brown and but I'm pretty fine. Like no pain, nothing. It's just when I walk in the street, people look at me kind of weird, but I'm okay.
So, who gave you that shiner?
I hit the floor by myself, so it's all on me. My hands
Okay,
were not
so
fast enough, so my head really like
you,
hit the floor pretty nasty. My hands were too slow to avoid
I
it.
see. So you just came off wrestling Will Ospreay this last weekend. Saw a few clips of that online. How was that?
It was great. I mean, he's maybe one of the few I can say is way better than me. And the match went very well. And it was very special because it was 1,200 French wrestling fans. And the atmosphere was fantastic. I mean, it was the very first time I got goosebumps before I went to the ring. The fans were, I don't know how to describe that, but like it was unique. Like the atmosphere was great. The people were on fire. It was a 25 minute of non-stop screaming people. It was unique, really.
Yeah, I saw a few clips of that on your Twitter. Is there any way where people can see it? Has this been taped? I think it was streamed on Twitch, right?
Well, it was on Twitch live, and I think they will release the YouTube episode uh, on the 18th of March.
Okay, so just after 16 Carat weekend, people can
Yes.
look forward to that.
Yeah. They used to do it for free, so I think they will keep it for free.
And what's the name of the promotion? How do you pronounce it?
RIXE.
RIXE.
Catch. RYXE. Catch. Like catch. CATCH.
Okay, because I wasn't thought before I butcher some French word, I wasn't sure if it was RIXE, if it was rise, so I thought I'd ask you.
RIXE Catch, yes.
So maybe we can use that as a segue. Wrestling in France. We all know you are a part of APC. They also do shows with wXw. There's a joint show coming up. I think it's the third one.
Yes.
That's being planned. So how is the wrestling scene in France? What are the major promotions, and how is the scene in general? Is it big? Is it on television? Is it like is it comparable to Germany or more to the UK, or is it a smaller scene? What can you tell us about wrestling in France in recent years?
It's still smaller than Germany or UK, but it's growing up. When I started 12 years ago, it was very slow, very small. I mean, I used to wrestle in France every weekend, so it was kind of big because there are a lot of different promotion, but it was not very big because it was very small shows. I mean, like 50 people, 60 people. The wrestling there was not really good. The French wrestlers were not very good. They were very stiff. And that's why we got a very bad reputation in France. And that's why people don't look at French wrestling with a good vibe. But it changed a lot in the past few years. French wrestlers used to wrestle in Germany now, used to wrestle in England. If you look at Senza Volto, for example, myself, Aigle Blanc, Kuro, Salem, Chago, all those names used to travel around Europe right now, and the French scene is changing a lot. I mean, RIXE doing well, APC doing very well, Budizoy doing well also. You got a few different promotion around France that's doing pretty decent show at the moment. Um, and it's really nice to see that all those young talents getting more and more light on them. It's very, very good.
So APC, how involved are you with that? But you're not the owner, right? There is another person that owns it, but you're a regular wrestler there.
I'm a regular wrestler over there. Fabio Constantino is a promoter, and I help him out building up, bounds with wXw, for example. I reached progress at some point also to make progress against APC show too. And I also help him to build up cards. I don't know how to say that, but like he brings the foreigners, he brings the guys, and I just build up the card, puts, I don't know, for example, on the last show he had Peter, so I build up the card to do Peter against Mecha. And I don't remember what was the card exactly, but I built up all the matches to make sure that the card looked nice, and I put the good guys with the other good guys. The one I feel they get a good chemistry together. Make sure the card look nice and the match are good.
Okay, I see. So you said the scene basically started up about 12, 13 years ago in France. Did you initially train in France? Because I know you've trained with Lance Storm in Calgary. Was that your first wrestling training?
It was my very first. I look at France and I look at the school that was in France at this time, and I don't feel it was good for me to train there. I really think that if you learn the wrong way, you're gonna keep bad habit for the rest of your career. And I didn't want to have bad habits, so I've really think about just quit everything and move to Canada for 4 months and learn with Lance was the best option for me. And I still think it was the best option for me. I think if I was learning in France first, I would have maybe didn't learn how to bump properly the good way and keep it for the rest of my career. So no, I never learned in France. Sorry for that French. So, but I'm not ashamed of. I completely assume that I wouldn't have that career if I would learn in France in the past. So.
Yeah, and I think the school has closed down in the meantime. But I think at the time, Lance Storm had the reputation of being one of the best trainers and running one of the best schools in the world. So I think the decision was a pretty good one. So how was it packing up your life basically, and going to Calgary for 4 months? How was it a big culture shock, or did you have your hands full training that you didn't quite think about all that?
It was not culture shock. I was not able to speak English properly at that time. My English is still not the best English in the world, but Canada people are the nicest people I ever met, and I travel a lot. I lost my way. I remember I lost my way the very few first day, maybe the third day. I lost my way to the school, to the house. So I was lost. And I was not able to find my way because my phone didn't work, internet didn't work there. And I just asked random people. And one guy, I think he drove me for maybe an hour before I find the house. Like Landstorm used to rent a house there for the students. And I was lost. And a random guy just took an hour of his life to help me out, and he didn't ask anything. I said, "Do you want money? Do you want something?" Nothing. And my English was so bad that I was not able to help him out properly. But he didn't care. He just really want to help me out. That's all. And I got another story with the neighbor and another story with the guy in the gym, and I can have a lot of different story from people there. Everybody was really nice, and I was really happy to move there for like 4 months. I was supposed to stay 3 months, and then I asked Lance if I can stay 1 more month in his house just to enjoy Canada, and he said yes, because even Lance was really nice. I think
He's a
everybody.
nice guy too, isn't he?
What?
He's a nice guy too, yeah.
Yeah, everybody in Canada is really nice. It's crazy to say that, but it's so true. Um, and yeah, it was not a tough decision. Like, it was really hard to get some money to go there. I have to work in factory for, I don't know, 6 months maybe. Do I don't know how to call that in English, but work twice in the morning, one in the afternoon, two by night.
Yeah, like
Different
a
shift.
double shift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shift five, three different kind of shifts in
Yeah.
different factory to make sure I got enough money to travel. So it was pretty tough, but when I was there, everything was perfect. I was bumping. I did 2 first weeks. I just follow. I just look and try to understand how to do the bumps and the rolls. And because when Lance was talking, I didn't understand a word. But after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I start to understand the basic French, the basic English wrestling terms and everything. So I was good enough. It was good enough for me to follow the classes. And then after a month and a half of being surrounded by English people, my English start to be better and better and better. And after 3 months, 4 months, I was at home. So everything was cool.
So what made you want to become a pro wrestler in the first place? Because you said the scene wasn't very big at that time in France. Was it just from watching WWE on television, or was there something else?
It was WWE. I was maybe 5 or 6 years old, and was on a Saturday. Was no school on Saturday in France, and I wake up maybe 7 in the morning, and I was angry, and I just get to the kitchen, and my father was up, and he was watching WWE, WWF at this time. The TV turned black, and I heard the music of The Undertaker, and I saw that guy half dead, the gimmick. And I was 5, 6 years old kid. So I just being hypnotized by the TV, and I sit. I didn't eat nothing. I woke up to get some food, and I was like so hypnotized by the TV that I didn't get food. I just watched the wrestling with my dad for an hour. And then every Saturday since that day, I was watching wrestling on TV until they take it off. But since that day, I said, my dad, I want to be a wrestler. And when you get to school and they ask your name, age, name of your parents, what's your hobbies, what you want to do when you're gonna be old, and everybody put like policeman, teacher, whatever. Since I'm 8, I just put wrestler, wrestler. Everybody laughed at me, but I was like, no, I want to do this.
Yeah, was the same for me, but I didn't work out for me, so I'm happy it did for you. So another Frenchman that trained with Lance was a Tom LaRufa. Were you there at the same time, or was he earlier, later?
He was there earlier, and I think because of Tom, I find out about Lance Tom classes. I didn't know Lance was a teacher there because I was looking for classes for school, and first I want to go to Shawn Michaels schools and realize he was not there all the time. Same with Booker T, same with the Dudleys. They put the name on the school, but because of their schedule, they're not there all the time.
Yeah.
And when Tom Lance went to Lance classes, I realized Lance was doing the class every day. For 3 months, I've been teaching by Lance. So I was like,
Yeah,
I
he was
want to
really
go there.
hands-on from what I know, yeah.
Yeah, it was full dedicated to it. Like it was there every day, an hour before the class, and he stayed there like 30, 45 minutes after the class to talk or answer question. And it was like there all the time for us. So I said, no, I want to be there. I need to go there. So thanks, Tom.
Yeah, I think he ran like 3 classes a year,
Yes.
3 month classes with I think he took a break 1 month in between.
Yes.
And otherwise was a full-time teacher there, yeah. So
And if he missed a class for booking, for example, he put the days, extra days after the end of the training. So, for example, in my time there, he got a booking for a promotion in Canada. He was not able to be there on a Friday and Thursday, something like that, and he had 2 extra days to make sure that we have the good number of days of training.
yeah, that's really cool. So when you returned, did you get into wrestling full-time in France, or how did it work for you?
I try. At some point, I was able to have decent life. But when I turned 30, I said, no, I'm 30 now and I need to think about the future also. So I become a teacher. So I'm teacher during the week, wrestler during the weekend. I'm a weekend warrior, like people said. And I think it's even more exhausted because I never stop. I like last weekend, for example, I drove 4 hours. I got a match with Will Ospreay in France at Dreux, and then drive 4 hours back home, get some sleep, drive 3 hours on Sunday, have a match in Belgium, drive three hours, drive back home, sleep a few hours, and wake up on Monday and go to the class. So it's cool because I love my life, but it's very exhausted.
Yeah, it sounds like that. So do your students and your fellow teachers, do they know what you do? Do they talk to you about it, or is it like a secret life that you don't talk about in school at all?
I didn't want to, but I think it's great to talk about it because it's avoiding some issue. I mean, I talked to my direction and I told them that I'm a wrestler, and they give me the they treat me like high level athlete. So if I need a day off to go somewhere, for example, when I do tour with wXw in Canada, I just send a letter with proof that I will be competing in Canada to represent France in a wXW Smash show, for example, and I got my day off. As a teacher, it's really, really hard to get a day off because they said, "Oh, you got holidays, so we cannot give you day off because you already have your day
Yeah.
off." It's
And my wife is a teacher, so I know the struggle. Yeah.
so being honest with the direction and with my with the other teacher was a very good point. And when it comes to the kids, it depends. Like if the kids realize and ask me about it, I take like maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and I told them like, okay, you got 20 minutes, ask me anything about it. But when it's over, no more question. During the week, I'm a teacher. I'm here to teach you something. I'm not here to talk to you to talk to you about wrestling or whatever. I'm here to teach you something. So it went pretty well. And when they don't know, I don't talk about it.
Sure, yeah. So how is it with kids and friends these days? Are they interested in wrestling? Is it a thing, or is it like a niche thing that maybe a few people are interested in at all?
Kids are really into it. It's when they come to when they turn 15, 16, it kind of, when they realize it's not that tough. It's tough, but French mentality is kind of weird about it. Like, you just said, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake. They don't realize how tough it is and how hard it is. And also, France is just fan of football. That's all. Like, on TV, it's football all the time. You have no handball, no rugby, not that much different sport. It's really football all the time. So it's already really hard for the rugby team or for the handball teams or for anything else to get a spot on TV or a spot in the art of the French people. So wrestling had tough work to do.
But it's still on television, like WWE is on television in France right now?
Yes. 10 years ago, it was really big. It was prime time. They used to do like a French promotion, Wrestling Star used to do a very big tour at that time because it was a very big, like...
They brought in the Ultimate Warrior, right? Was it that promotion?
Which one?
Was it the same promotion that brought in Ultimate Warrior at some point?
No, it wasn't this one. It was another one. It's a very old French promotion that run a lot of different shows. I cannot say something about that. They run a lot of shows, but they're really old school. That's 2 locker room, one with the baby face, another one with the heel. They got cars with heels and cars with baby face, and the kayfabe from the 18s, and the wrestling is also from the 80s. So it's really, for me, it's really hard to watch. But they are really like they are really kind of big in France. They're running a lot of different shows, and because they have a lot of connection, a lot of history in France. When WWE was really big, they used to do a tour for like 2 or 3 years in very big stadium in France, like 5,000 people every Saturday for like 2 or 3 years, and then WWE get off of TV, get back to 11 p.m., something like that. So the wrestling fan community start to go down a little bit, and now it's kind of rising up, but not because of TV, because of I don't know if you watch Twitch channel or YouTube channel or stuff like that, but there's a lot of very famous Twitch people who love wrestling in France, and their fans start to watch wrestling because of the guy on Twitch. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I see. So is there any attempt to get the big Twitch guys to attend the local shows as well, or integrate them in some form?
Yeah, the Twitch guy do a stuff called the events, and they used to ask people money to like a good association to help the world with, I don't know, food or whatever. And every year they bring more than 20 million euro, whatever. It's a very big,
Wow.
like it's huge. And this year they do a show with Rivanzi, one of the Twitch guy, and Aigle Blanc against Kuro and another guy from Twitch. So they train for like 3-4 weeks, and they run a kind of a match live on Twitch, watched
Cool.
by, I don't know, 5,000 people, maybe something like that. That's pretty cool. And during my match with Ospreay, one of the 2 guys who trained with Aigle and Kuro come to the show, and he let the people know. So some people come to watch the show too.
Oh, that's cool. So you use them for publicity to kind of improve the local scene as well. That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a bit because I think most of our viewers and listeners in Germany will know you from your time with wXw. You came in, I looked it up on Cage Match. You had a few shows back in 2014. How did that come about at the time? Was it through, I think, French Flavor were the tag team champions, or were a tag team, a regular team at the time? Did it happen through them, or was it kind of an independent booking through WXW?
I think it was because of Tommy, and Tommy was really trying to help me out when he was still in Europe. We got a match in France, went really, really well. And the next day was supposed to face David Richards, but David was sick or got an issue, whatever. I don't remember really what's happening, but David was not able to come to Netherlands. And Tommy asked to the promoter. He asked the promoter to face me one more time because he said that he had a very good match with me in France, and we had another great match in Netherlands. And after that, he was talking about me to a different promoter, so I get some booking a little bit everywhere because of him. And I think he really tried to put me over with wXw. So I think he is the one who opened the door for me at that time.
Oh, that's cool. So the next time we saw you with WXW, or with in the realm of WXW, was the initial crossover show with APC in January of 2020, the show that took place in France before the pandemic. I think you faced Cody Hall there, and you got injured, I think, and had to sit out day 2. So what happened there?
I got a concussion.
Oh,
A very bad clothesline, and my head hit the floor really bad. I was able to finish the match, but when I watched the video, you can you see clearly that I'm out. Like every time he was touching me, I just go down, and I just get up, and I try to act like I'm tough, and then even just this, I just crawling down, and I don't remember nothing about it. I don't remember anything about that day, except that I wake up, and that's all. I don't even remember when I was driving to Paris or whatever. Like the whole day is out of my memory.
oh. I think WXW even cut the match from the video release at the time because they said it was not a pretty thing to watch, so they took it out. So you made your return to WXW during the pandemic when they did their shotgun tapings in the I think at the Steffi in the Turbinenhalle. How did that come about? I think they reached out throughout Europe to see who was available, or how did it work at the time?
They reached me out. Like we tried to work together quite a few times in the past. Timing wise never really work, and when I was available, they have no spot, and when I was not available, they got some spots. So it was kind of mistiming all the time, and pandemics help it out. I mean, like, hey, what can I do? Nothing. It's pandemic. So they reached me out, and I was really happy that they reached me out because I wanted to work for them for quite a long time. And I think the taping went really well. It was pretty tough. We've done like maybe 2-3 matches a day for 2 or 3 days in a row. So it was kind of tough for the body, but also in the same time, that was great. You know, like no wrestling for such a long time, not being able to see the other wrestler, because at some point, of course, after all those years, we create some bonds, you know, with each other's, and it was really tough not seeing the guy that I used to see every weekend for like 6-8 months, and being able to stay with them for like 3 days in a row and do what we are born to do or what we are made for was very good, very great feeling.
So I think the first, or one of the first matches you had at these tapings was actually a title match against Bobby Guns.
Yes.
And then you could say your story with Levaniel started there as well. He had this kind of love story with Amal going on, and you were kind of like a French guy, so he thought you had the hots for her or something like that. So what are your early memories of Levaniel, who would be such a big and important part of your WXW career over the years?
Been loser. No, it was young. It's still young, but it was still kind of green, you know. But it was hardworking. You know, you got some new guys who just show up and think they're really good and don't want to listen and don't want to try to change the way they look at the wrestling and Lebanon was the opposite. He was always asking advice, always trying to be a better man in the ring, trying to be. I remember watching him like running promo 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times until he feel he was the good one. He was a very hard worker. Like the very first impression of Levaniel was like, yes, he is a hard worker. He want to make it.
So the next time we saw you in a more prominent role was during the Catch Grand Prix, which also was taped during the pandemic. It was
Yes.
initially planned to be a 3-day event during the fall, but due to COVID, it was taped. So you had, I think, 6 or 7 matches over the course of that tournament. You were actually in the B block finals against Mario Salani. What are your memories of that? Because I imagine that's pretty tough having, don't know over how many days you taped this, but I think it was 6 or 7 matches you had.
2 days or 3 days. It was tough. It was a tough weekend. But I do remember the match with Marius. I got a very good chemistry with Marius. I don't know to explain that, but sometimes you get very good chemistry with people. It just really clicked well. We never worked together before. We are not at the top of the game because when you don't wrestle for a long time, you get the ring rust. You got some difficulty to, feel your mark and stuff like that. But as soon as me and Marius get in the ring, everything went back to easy mode. So my best memory was that. I also have a match with Senza, I think, if I'm not wrong. Um, and me and Senza got a very long friendship together for the past few years. Is my best friend in the wrestling world, so I was happy to have a match with him during that taping.
So in 2021, you kind of became really a regular with WXW. Were in a lot of shows with them. And then the first big event, the first weekend after the pandemic, 16 Carat last year, you actually won the WXW World Unified title in a 4-way with X-Men, with Jörn Simmons, and with Levaniel. How was it? How was your first 16 Carat? How was it to be in front of all the people again and finally get crowned the world champion and get put in that position by the promotion? How did that make you feel?
I was really proud. I was very surprised. I won't lie. In my head, it was Levaniel champion or Axel champion. I have two options for me. And then when they put title on me, I was like, okay, you think I can? Yes, okay, thank you. I was very very humble. I was very proud, very thankful. I never thought I was going able to be the champion for WXW. If you look at the name of the former champion, and if you look at the history of WXW, you got so many great wrestlers, and it's I think we're going to talk about WXW in 50 years, 60 years, 100 years. You know, um, it's a stone. It's something you have to talk about when you talk about wrestling. And being the champion for WWE was not even a dream, because I really thought I was never been able to do it. So I was very humbled, very surprised, and very proud. And I just cannot say thank you anymore for trusting me that much. Um, and yes, doing it with this French flag entrance who looks sick in front of those people, make Turbine Hall completely mad, was great. Because everybody was pissed off. I mean, few people were happy, but like a lot of people were very mad.
Yeah, I think most people actually thought that it would be Levaniel's big moment, and then when you got the pin, then yeah, the arena exploded. It was, yeah, they were very very mad, and then the first match you did at the taping the next afternoon, I think that really established you as the top guy in the eyes of the fans as well. So you had a pretty good run. You had a brief switch of the title with Jørn Simmons in April, but you won the title back, and then it was basically the Tristan Archer year for the rest of 2022 until the big match with Levaniel at the anniversary show. So how did you like that whole story with him?
I think the story was nice, really nice. So many times people thought that Lavanya would get the title, and he didn't. So many times, so many times, and at anniversary, crowd was kind of half half, and then the story was great because everybody thought like Lavanya gonna lose one more time. You know, everybody thought that it was going to be the um, the big loser, and the guy who always lose when it comes to big opportunity, and he kick out, and the crowd gets crazy. And when he get finally the pin on me, even if it was Norman the referee, like the pop was crazy. It was a very long show also, and I was really scared because I thought the people would be tired on or stuff or anything like that. But at the end, when you do the pinfall on me, get the 1, 2, 3, and get the belt, everybody was up, everybody was screaming, everybody was sending love, and it was a very very nice story, nice storytelling, nice build up. I really enjoyed being a part of it, and I really like to think that I'll help this young man up to step up a little bit and reach another level to his career.
So you actually got the chance to win the title back in 2 weeks because you're part of the 16 Carat tournament, which for the first time ever will be for the wXw championship. Norman Harras stripped Levaniel of the title, put it up in the tournament, and you were supposed to face Jørn Simmons, but he's out with like post-surgery problems from appendicitis, I think. And now you're facing a man you faced numerous times before. You're going up against Mike D, who some people may know from Wrestling Cult in Germany as well, and I think from Bodysoy and other promotions. I think we've seen him at the wXw Now showcase last year. So how is Mike D? I think you faced in at least 8 singles matches I could find and tons of tag team matches over the years. So I think I saw the two of you in Austria as well last summer during the Praterketchen. So how is your impression of him as an opponent?
I know Mike since he's 16 maybe, and he was already big. Uh, yeah, I think I know him since he's 16. And when he was 16, he was kind of, yes, I want to do wrestling, but I also want to do party, and I also want to do blah, 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 blah. He was not really focused on it. And through the years, he really changed his mind. and he was really focused about it. Um, and he's not living that far away from my place, so I went to his place quite a few times on his demand to, teach him, train with him, help him out with wrestling matches, and I try my best, and I think that's why we got a good chemistry together, because we kind of think the same way. You know, when we are in the ring, we kind of move the same way because we kind of trained together for the past maybe 5-6 years. So I'm looking forward for this match. I'm happy to be the very first guy he's gonna face in a big scene, because the show on the first match we have in WWE was a Comic Con. It was not the same kind of crowd, It's not really wrestling fans. It's more people that going to watch some comics and mangas and stuff. So I'm really happy to be the first one that you will face in on the big scene, and I'm really proud of him. He worked really hard. He is moving well. He got good charisma. He's a smart dude, nice guy. So I'm really, really happy that he's going to be a part of wXw. Really, really happy. He deserved it.
Yeah, and like I said, I've seen the match live, so I think people are in for something special, because the match you had in Austria was I really enjoyed that one as well. So there are a couple of other big names in the tournament. I mean, wXw doesn't release the brackets, so we never know who will face off in the second round. But who are some of the names that you would like to face either in the tournament or during some other events over the weekend?
When Tommy Hen was there, I remember once I saw an interview of him. I read an interview of him, and he said that his favorite opponent was Zack Sabre Jr., David Richards, and myself. And I already fight with Zack Sabre Jr. It was tag gym, but already done that. So I really wish I will be able to face David Richards. I mean, I really like the kind of wrestling he can do in the ring. So if I have to pick up only one, would be him.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing him again. He has quite a past with wXw. I've seen him in maybe the early years I went there, I think in from 2010 to 13 or something like that. So I'm really happy that he's back. And yeah, I think I would enjoy seeing the two of you in the ring very, very much. Another highlight for you was working for WWE. You were actually in the Cruiserweight Classic in 2016. You faced Cedric Alexander there. How did that whole thing come about?
I got an email from WWE out of nowhere because I never reached them. And I remember that I contact Christophe Ajus in France, is the guy who's doing the commentary for WWE on TV. And I told him, like, is it a fake one or is it the real one? And he told me, no, this is a real WWE email. So you got to try out. And I was like, damn. I like, why? Well, he said, I will check up and tell you how it happened. And apparently, I was on a show in Germany, and one of the guys sent pictures and video of myself to the headquarters, and I got an email. I was like, oh, okay, no problem. So I went there first time, and then they give me another one in 2015. At the end of the second one, Kenyon told me that I will be a part of the WWE family at some point one day. And a year later, they contact me to be a part of Cruiserweight Classic. I have to lose around, I don't know, maybe 7 kilos to
Yeah,
be that.
because they did legit weigh-ins, right?
Yes, yes, yes. It was scary. It was scary because as soon as I land, I've been to the USA quite a few times. So as soon as I land, I went to Tim Hortons. I went to Denny's. I went to different places to get some, not very healthy food. And the very first day they say, okay, so for the scale, we're gonna put you on this, and if you are overweight, you're gonna have somebody else to take your spot. And it was scary. It was scary. It was very scary. It was they were very serious about it. After that, a little bit less. Because if you look at Buddy Murphy, he's clearly not 205.
So, what are your memories of that time in the US in 2016? Like the whole weekend, we had a few. I think the Mac was there for Germany, and we had quite a lot of international talent as well. So, how did the whole thing go down?
It was great. I mean, very first day, I was in the lobby and remember Brian Kendricks jump on me because we have the match together in France and we drive all along together and we spend some time together. And he jumped on me and said, Tristan, yes, do you have any underwear or shirts I can use? I was like, yeah, they lost my luggage. I was like, what? Very first day, luggage out. Okay. And then the very last day also we do kind of a party with uh Ibushi, Rixuan, all the guys, and it was a very good moment, very good memories, and also working for WWE, you understand why they are the best in the world because everything is really like I don't know how to say it in English, but they give you a list of stuff and you get a paper every day. It said like at 8 you need to be there in that kind of clothes. 8:30 we start doing this and this. 9 you move to the gym in that kind of clothes with that kind of, we got you 2 t-shirts, blah 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 blah. And then 11 promo for him and him. And I like that. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no room for
special, but
mistakes.
yeah, makes sense.
And after that you realize how professional they are. Like everything is really like time wise, everything is really, it's I don't know how to explain. I don't have the enough vocabulary or enough words to explain, but it was fantastic. I really love that kind of atmosphere.
So you kind of went back to WWE. You were part of NXT UK tapings in 2021. That was after the pandemic when they taped at the BT Sports Arena, BT Sports Studios. I think they had either no or very few fans there at the time. So how did that come about? Did you just reach out to looking for European talent who could attend, or was there somebody working there who suggested you to them?
I don't know. I know I was supposed to face Walter in the first place. So maybe because I was working in wXw, maybe he asked like, can I have Tristan to have a match with? I don't know. Or maybe it's them. I really don't know. The match never happened because Walter broke his hands. You know.
Yeah, that was the time he had this the wrist injury. I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah.
it was a real one. Like it was not just for the booking. It was a real injury. So they have to switch up the match. So I have no clue if it's him. If it's him, thank you very much. If it's not him, still, I wish I can have that match. But they gave me a match with Joseph Connors, and the match went well. Get the good feedbacks from Shawn Michaels and William Regal. And I don't know, maybe 5 minutes after I finished the match, they come to me and say, sorry, the guy who was supposed to face Jordan Devlin tonight got the COVID. He's in the COVID group. can you do another match and wrestle with Devlin tonight? I said, yes, no problem. When? In 20 minutes? Yeah, of course, 20 minutes. It's fine. So yeah, I've done 2 matches in a row almost. It was a very good time, but I knew it was not for being signed because it was rumored that they were going to close to open NXT Europe already at that time. So I know it was not the good time for me being there because nothing will be signed or nothing gonna happen after that. But it was great because also in the same time I met again so many, friends that I met in the past because they were kind of locked in NXT UK. So, you know, it, even if it was not for being signed or having a contract or whatever, it was a great experience.
So we've heard rumblings about NXT Europe. It's supposed to launch this year, but on the other hand, we also have heard statements that WWE is actually looking to find a buyer to sell the company. So nobody's quite sure how that may affect things here. If NXT Europe were to launch, would that be a destination where you would like to end up in the long term?
Oh, I'm 37, and when I started wrestling, I was only thinking about WWE because I knew only WWE. And when I got my Cruiserweight Classic matches, and nothing happened after that, I was kind of sad and mad and kind of not depressed because I've never been, but kind of wanted to quit. And then I realized wrestling is not only WWE. I can wrestle in Germany in front of 1,000 people. I can wrestle in France in front of 1,000 people. I can travel to Qatar. I can travel to Malaysia. I can travel to Kuwait. I can travel to Canada. I can travel to USA. Met a lot of different people, and make the people in the crowd happy or mad or make them cry. Like last Saturday, the group of people were crying during the match with Will Ospreay, like literally crying in the crowd. And yes, WWE Europe could be a great option. If it's happening, I will be the happiest guy in the world. But if it's not happening, I will still be the happiest guy in the world because I'm doing what I love. I mean, traveling, wrestle, make people happy, make people smile. That's for me. That's what wrestling is for. Change the life of people for a few hours, and for the kids, it's for even more than a few hours. So whatever happening, I'm a happiest guy.
Yeah, I think that's the essence of pro wrestling is making people forget their daily troubles and use the stuff you do in the ring to generate emotions. I think that's what wrestling is all about. Yeah. So let's start. You just ran off a list of countries and regions where you wrestled. So let's talk about some of this. Let's start off with the US. Actually, you were there, I think, during the summer of 2017 and had a number of indie bookings. I think you wrestled people like Timothy Thatcher, like Rocky Romero, like Jake Atlas. So was that just something where you decided, I want to go to the US for a bit? Or who put that tour or those bookings together for you?
Wasn't supposed to be a tour at all. Like in 2010, I went there to train and I met a lot of people. And 2017, after the Cruiserweight Classic, I was like, okay, I was there 7 years ago. It's been a long time. I want to see those guys again. So I went there with my girlfriend and I was not supposed to wrestle. And I was just telling the guys, hey guys, I will be there this summer. Okay, I will keep you in touch with this guy and I will keep you in touch with this guy. And and have a match every weekend. It was not supposed to happen, and I just enjoyed it because it was cool to being able to still wrestle over there. But at the very first, like the first intention was just to travel and say hello to a lot of old friends, and also being able to enjoy the country, because I went to Arizona, I went to Nevada, I see the Grand Canyon and all the big park all around the Grand Canyon. I went to San Diego, to different places, just to like a regular guy enjoying a trip.
That's pretty cool. So you got just added some wrestling to your holiday, basically.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Another promotion you've wrestled for in the UK is Progress. I think you've had one match there in 2019 against Lucky Kid, or Metehan, as it's known now. Would you be interested to work more? Because the UK scene is starting up again, has been starting up again. They've got some pretty big promotions there. They've got Progress, Rev Pro, a few others. Would that be something that you're looking forward to in the future?
Yes, of course. As much as I can. I mean, traveling over there, wrestle with the young English talent. It's something cool. Like I met some of them in Italia, Poland, and I think they're really, really skilled. I have a match with Conor Miles for RIXE not long ago, and I think it's really good. So yeah, Progress, Rev Pro. I think Rev Pro is really big too. Like the wrestling there is really good. Wrestling there it's really, really good. So it's a big yes, of course.
So one of the other promotion, basically where you're a regular in Germany, is Wrestling Cult. You've been there since the very beginning. You were in the main event of the first show in 2017 against Carnage. What's your relationship, or what's your thought on Wrestling Cult, and what makes those shows special for you?
I think it was one of the first German promotion who really trusted me. They put the title on me. They build up shows all around me. The French Revolution. They bring French people to be in my stable and everything like that. They really put a lot of trust in me, and I will be always thankful for that. It's a kind of a second home for me. Everybody's really nice with me over there, and I think they really work hard to keep running shows and to evolve and to get bigger and bigger. So I wish them the best of their luck. I try to be there as much as possible. I'm very busy with wXw right now. I got a lot of booking coming up, and I also try to travel a bit. So every time I'm not in Germany, I try to accept as much as possible booking in Italia, for example, or Hungary, or England, or whatever. I want to travel a little bit more. So it's really hard for me to be there at every cult show, but every time I can, I'm there, of course.
And if people want to check out Cult, they have a show over 16 Carat weekend as well on the Saturday in the early morning. So if people want to get up at around 9:30 and have a beer at 10 and watch some wrestling, then they certainly can. Wrestling Cult. We talked about it in the interview with Melanie Gray and Kevin the other day. So a fun thing to do over Carat weekend as well. You've mentioned Hungary. I think during the pandemic, wXw kind of established a new triangle of pro wrestling. It pretty much is Germany, Hungary, and France at the moment, with where most of the main talent come from. And you've been pretty busy in Hungary as well. You've been the HCW champion, which is the promotion where the Arrows of Hungary originally came from. You've also been a regular with Passion Pro, which is also the promotion that Dover runs. So I've only been there once. I've been at an HCW show where Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate were brought in to face the Arrows, and I remember the fans there being pretty wild, pretty rowdy. So, what's your opinion of the scene there?
HCW, when they do a very big show, for example, the one I lose the title to BT, the crowd was crazy, and the show was long. I don't even know how they can be that loud after 4 hours of scream, but they were loud, like for real. Like, I mean, I think HTW build up a public that would follow them until the end. Like, they know how to react. They are big. There are a lot of people coming up. I think more than 1,000 on the last show I've done with them. It's really crazy. And Dover and Carrie is trying to build up another promotion that delivers something different. That HCW, it's more wrestling in Passion Pro, and they try to bring very good talent from the rest of Europe. They bring Conor Miles, they bring Carlos Romo, they bring different guys from different countries to make a mix of talent for the Hungarian people, for the Hungarian wrestlers, and it's a very nice place to be. I had a very good match with Axel Tischer on the first or second Passion Pro show, and the public love it. Like, I mean, it was pure wrestling, really. Like, it was a very good match, and it's something they don't used to see. HCW is more family show now. It was more this match in the past, then it become a little bit more light and more family show, and Passion Pro is more wrestling, like traditional wrestling shows.
And I think it's more of a product that caters to the hardcore fans, to the fans of who want to see indie dream matches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Another country you talked about a bit is Belgium. Bodysoy, I think, is from the region. You also were champion for Pro Wrestling All Stars. How's the scene in Belgium? Is it is it pretty interlinked with France, or do they do their own thing?
Belgium, I think the only exception is really Bodysoy. Pro Wrestling All Star, nice people, nice crew, nice wrestlers, but it's not at the same level as Bodysoy. Bodysoy came out during the pandemics, and they grow up really fast. They've been on TV. They got Nicolas Anelka, the very famous soccer player in France. He was there on the taping to just show off the belt. So kind of big for a Belgian promotion of wrestling, and they build up hardcore wrestling fans team. They always sold out. They bring a lot of very famous foreigners. They bring Bandito. They will bring game-changing wrestling to do a featuring show, for example. So they really try to step up the game, and they really try to put Belgium on the map. So Bodysoy is going to be really big in the future. I think they really try to make it happen, and they really work this smartly. So I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, and they at least in the past they were also part of the wXw Now streaming service. I'm not sure if they how much of them is being uploaded to the new service, but they're a fun promotion to check out. So yeah, that's I saw what I saw. I didn't see a whole lot, but what I saw of them looked pretty good in the past. So let's move over to my home country of Austria. You were part of the EWA, Praterketchen. You also worked for the UKWA for Max's promotion, Maxberg's promotion. So how do you enjoy Austria and your time here? I know EWA has more of a traditional approach at times.
I love Praterketchen. I love it. Like every time Kovac booked me for this one, I'm just really excited. I love the atmosphere. I love Kovac. Kovac was always nice to me. He's old school guy with dark humor, you know, the kind of joke that my dad used to do to me and my granddad and like I don't say he's old at all. I don't say that at all. Please don't tell him I say something like
He's
that.
not old, but she's great with the dad jokes. Yeah.
Don't say that to him, please. But like, he really treats me well since day one. He really take care of me since day one. Every time I saw him, he's a really cool man. And the first time he asked me to come to Austria, and I watched the picture of the tent, the circus. I was like, it's kind of a old school, you know. And then when I step in, and when I heard the crowd, and when I watched the project live, and I was like, bro, that's cool. That's damn cool. And also I was walking to the venue, and I saw all the, you know, the ferry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in the middle for people who don't know. Praterkirchen is in the middle of the Prater in Vienna, so and that's a big amusement park. So like you have all these roller coasters and what's the English word for Geisterbahn? Yeah, people will understand it, like the thing where you go in, where you have all the ghosts and monsters and stuff like that, and then you have a big tent where there's wrestling. So yeah,
And
what more can you ask for?
on the picture of him, it was like, okay, okay, why not? And then when I was there, I was like, damn, it's really cool. It's fantastic. It's fantastic, and the crowd reaction is nice. Like the last match had with Mike, for example, reaction was crazy. On very easy stuff like me get it being done by Mike, and then I smash him down, and I ask a kid to kick Mike, and the kid was scared, and Mike ran after the kid, and I ran after Mike, and the people get mad. They want to kill Mike. They want to kill Mike, and the reaction was fantastic. And after that, the match was easy. It was me, the big baby face, and Mike, the very bad guy, and the reaction was fantastic.
Yeah, it's great because you've got a lot of really casual fans who only go to. I think they've done it for 4 or 5 years now, and I think there is a portion of the fans that just goes to that one show a year. So that's their one fix at live wrestling, and I think it's great because all the old school tricks work really well with that crowd.
Yes, like we said earlier, making the people react, play with their emotion. By the way, react in the ring. That's wrestling. That's wrestling, and it's even more enjoyable when you don't have to think too much about how to do it. You know, when you keep it as a basic and it works, that's even more fantastic.
That's great, yeah. Another country I'm very interested to get your opinion on because both we've had X-Men on and we've had Michael Oko on from the UK, and both were had very good things to say about working in Italy. So how was that for you?
It was great. I used to work for his promotion, since years now, and they are very kind people, treat me really well. Um, the only negative point for me is that they work really hard. They try to step up. They put a lot of energy and a lot of work. They bring a lot of very like good worker and everything, and the number of people in the crowd is not what they deserved. I think they did deserve more people in the crowd. Last time they were, I think, 300 people, but they're working so hard for so long that I really wish them to have like 500, 600,000 people at their show. That for me the only negative point, because they were working so hard for so long that I think they deserve more uh, love or more. I don't know how to explain that. Like more
Yeah, like more attention from the fans and
for the
people.
fans in Italia. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a problem that that a lot of promotions that are really good have, that they're kind of not that well known in the mainstream, or there's too much going on where people don't go. Because I think all over Europe there are a lot of shows happening that are really good, that would deserve to be seen by more people. So, a final promotion here on my list is Primetime Wrestling out of Poland. You've wrestled there. You've wrestled Jacob Crane, who is from the country as well. And they've gotten pretty big. They're sponsored by Kinguin, which I think is a big player in the video game or video game reseller industry. Have great production values. So, how was wrestling in Poland?
It was insane. Like first, I was contacted by one of the Polish guy, and he said, "Hey, this guy's gonna contact you. Don't worry, he's a serious guy, and you can trust him. If you want to pick you to the show, just say yes." And I was like, "Okay." Then he contacted me, and I was like, "I don't know him. Never heard about him." And I'm like, And I was not free that date, and I remember few days after the show, I saw a picture of Marius Alani doing his entrance with the big screen and all that. I was like, okay, they got me. They got me. I have to go there. I have to be free the next time they contact me. And the next time they contact me, I was free, luckily. So I went there, and it was a great experience. Very well organized, very big crowd. The ring was nice. Bumping there was really cool. Their talents really like work hard to be as professional as possible. So I can only see positive thing about this promotion.
And how are the fans in Poland? Are they much different from the rest of Europe, or are they totally into it?
They're not really used to wrestling. They kind of only used to WWE wrestling. So I would say they are not ready for pure indie kind of match with a lot of reversal and like pinfall reverse blah 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 blah. If you get more into the basic stuff, a big nice pop-up powerbomb, huge reaction. So it's also cool to being able to wrestle on the basic, make the movement mean something, and take time selling and storytelling and get reaction from that. It's also really cool. So for me, the crowd is like I define them like family crowd, WWE kind of crowd.
Yeah. So, did we forget any countries where you've wrestled in the past, or anything that comes to mind that we should talk about? Any other promotions, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe Qatar, QPW. It was a very good experience. Also, I think 12,000 people. a show. I went to my match, and when I come back, I got fantastic feedbacks from Mark Henry, for example, Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash started his feedback by asking me if I was wearing knee pads, and for that match, I was not wearing knee pads. At some point, for like a year or two, I take off the knee pads because I thought it was good looking without it. And he looked at me and was like, "Do you have knee pads?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "Where's knee pads? Because you're gonna thanks me in the future."
Oh yeah, he would know.
I get back to knee pads, and then give me feedbacks, nice feedbacks. So imagine that, like I was there, like promoting the show on amusement park, like Angry Birds, a big commercial center, indoor skiing place, different stuff like that. And I wrestle with T.H. Smith, PG Black on a ladder match in front of 12,000 people. And when I get backstage, Marc Henry show up, give me advice. Kevin Nash show up, give me good feedbacks also. It was great. It was very, very good. And the promoter, Ali, is a very big wrestling fan. He wanted to be a wrestler also. So he knows what it takes to be a wrestler. And he really tried to help out guys from Qatar. He got very good relationship with AAA in Mexico, with different other promotion. So I think it's a cool place to be at least once. When you wrestle in Europe and when you start making a name for yourself, if you can be on one of his show, that's very, very good for you.
Yeah, Axel Tischer was he was also on one of the shows, and he talked about it and talked about what a great time he had there. Did you have any second thoughts about going to Qatar because of all the publicity that we saw it recently with the World Cup? They didn't get the best publicity for all the things going on in the country. Was that ever a factor for you to think about possibly not going, or did you just hear good things from other wrestlers and decided to go?
At that time, we got the already bad publicity in France. Like, oh yeah, they are doing this and this and this and this. And I was like, oh, okay, I will go there and I will sit by myself. It's like last time I was listening to a guy and said, no, they invite me to be at this, this opening, and I decided not to go there because I didn't want to take a flight, for the planet and whatever. I was like, it was not a jet, it was a flight. So the flight was going to go there with or without you. It's no meaning saying that you're not going to go there because of saving the planet. Because if you stay at home, was one empty spot in the flight, and the flight still going to travel. So you don't change nothing by staying home. So I was like, oh, okay. I heard this and this and this, and I want to go there and verify it. Because I do a match before doing the very big one. I'll do a school show first, and then I do the big one. So I went there with Aigle, and there was a lot of people walking in the city to get ready for the World Cup. And we just stopped and asked those people, because it was 10 in the afternoon, 10 p.m., and they were still working. So we were looking for somebody who was speaking English, and the guy told us that nobody works in Qatar between 11 and maybe 6 or 7 in the afternoon, like 11 in the morning and 6 and 7 in the afternoon, because it's way too hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's way too hot. So First information in France, they make the people work during the night. Yeah, because if they work during the day, that would be that would be terrible. Like, come on. So then I asked them, like, do you have any issue, like not being paid properly or stuff like that? And the guy told us that if he was staying in his country, he would have done the same job, but for maybe 10 or 20 times less money. He said, okay, I'm away from my place. It's a tough job, but I get like 10 or 20 times more money here than I could ever make in my country. So I will stay there for 3 years, get a lot of money, get back home, buy a place to my wife and my kids, find an easy job, and enjoy the rest of my life. And I was like, Ed, the other guys the same? He said, most of them feel the same and everything. So I was like, we got two different opinion on it, like,
Yeah, but
see you
it's great you went there and
TV,
you actually talked to the people and you got their point of view. So
the
that's
stuff
pretty
you
cool.
heard on TV and the stuff that the people who are living there actually to work telling you. So I'm like, So of course there's people that die during this construction, and it's very sad. It's really, really sad. You cannot take it away. And the funny, also one other funny thing is the complaining about Qatar putting a lot of EC to cool down. In Europe we do the opposite. We warm up stuff. So, and then in Qatar they never warm up stuff. So we are making pollution and stuff like that just to keep the place warm or the stadium warm for soccer player or whatever. The Qatar do the opposite. They cool down, but when they are doing it, it's bad. But when we are doing it for making sure we're not cold, it's fine. So it's funny,
Yeah,
like
there's always various points of views on these things. Yeah, right.
it's like it's different point of view. And I was there and I asked the people and and there was no one around me, and like they have no pressure when they were answering my question at all. So I was like, okay, I'm good. Like I think it's just and no one has to, like force them to come. They just ask them, and the people say yes, of course. Money, make money, provide to my family, and make sure that my son, daughter, whatever, are have a happy life. So I would have done the same, like work hard. And if this is what I'm doing now, it's like I'm working whole week, and after the interview, I will go to the gym and finish the day around 10 in the afternoon, and go to bed at midnight. Wake up at 7 tomorrow, and do the same tomorrow and Thursday and Friday, and wake up even earlier on Saturday and drive. I think 7 hours to the next show. Russell, drive 7 hours back home, sleep a little bit on Sunday, and do it again. And I don't complain. And TV don't say, "Oh, this man is living her hard life." I enjoyed it. I choose it, and I make it because I have goals, and I want to provide to my dogs, my girlfriend, the people I love. So you know, I'm really like I was fine working for Qatar this time. I don't see anything terrible at all when I was there.
Okay, so it's good to know, like I said, that you actually talked to the people and got to get your own impressions there.
Yeah,
So
we're really free with Egg. We've been able to get out of the hotel, walk, travel by night. During the day was terrible. We tried once. Terrible. We went out at 2 p.m. because we were bored at the hotel. And I said, yeah, let's go. Let's see. Like We walked 5 minutes. We were wait like
Yeah.
everywhere. Terrible, terrible. And by night, we just went there asking the people because I wanted to know. I'm very curious, and I wanted to make my own opinion on it.
That's pretty cool because a lot of people don't do that and just believe what you read in the media. And there are a lot of really good reports as well during the World Cup. I'm not a soccer fan, so I only glanced at stuff at times. But I know there were some really good reports, some really in-depth reports where people also went there and talked to people. And yeah, then there was the stuff on the surface where you got a pretty generalized opinion on things a lot of times.
It's because it's a
So
different culture, and we only think about with the point of view of our culture. And i- if you look at someone who's doing something different than you and don't think the way the guy used to think, you're never gonna understand him. And I think that's what happened during the World Cup. And then when the people moved there and enjoyed the World Cup and realized no fight, no blah blah blah, no this and that, and they've been able to enjoying the World Cup with no issue outside the stadium and stuff like that. They were like kind of, oh, that was kind of pretty cool also.
yeah, I mean that's one way of looking at it because in the past, during the big soccer and football tournaments, yeah, I remember there have been incidents in various countries.
Not long ago in France,
Right.
for the Europa League or something like that, there was a very big issue outside the Stade de France. Like a lot of people, a lot of English people get attacked by French teenager, get robbed, get um, beat down, and it was terrible, terrible.
Yeah. So onto a funner note, maybe um, for the people. Sorry for the people just listening. You have to watch the video, but I've been looking at your collection there behind you. Are those Funko Pops or what are those
Yes,
figures?
it is Funko Pops. On the other side of the computer, it's my anime figures. Behind me, just Funko Pops. I think maybe 200, 300 Funko Pops, something like that. And on the other side, I will do a quick tour. It's figure, figure,
Ah,
figure,
cool.
figure, 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 figure. So yeah, I'm
And
a big fan of anime. It's two things in my life. Maybe three now with the dogs, but like it's two things in my life: anime and wrestling since day one. So
that's pretty cool. So I saw that you actually have your first own action figure scheduled to come out at some point.
yeah,
Can you tell us a bit more about that? It's from actually, I think it's Championship Wrestling figures from Germany. I think Cella, or they're now Epic Toys, will produce them. What can you tell us about that?
not much, not much. They contact me. They ask me if I want to be a part of the first series, and I jerkily say yes because I think it's amazing. And they sent me a picture of the prototype, and it looks really nice. I just don't know where it's gonna be out, where you're gonna be able to find it, or anything like that. But I know they're still working on it. I know there's a few other wrestler on the project
Yeah,
also.
you're in good company. So the other wrestlers in the first series will be, and the product will be in the style of the old WWF Hasbro retro figures, and in the line will be Jessie Gabbard, alpha female, Axel Tischer, Bad Bones, John Klinger, and the Wunderkind Alex Wright will have his own figure. So you're in pretty good company there.
Yeah, it's sad. It's mad. I mean, I'm a big fan. Yeah, I got a figure everywhere. So like being on a series like this, and especially I'm French. It's a German company with German wrestlers, and I feel like Germany is my second home. I'm most of the time during the wrestling weekend. Most of the time I'm in Germany. That's crazy. Like, I really feel like there is a kind of a bond between me and the wrestling fans from Germany, and that's really cool. It's like a second home, far away from home, and being contact for being in the first series. I was very proud of it. And when they say, "Hey, T-shirt gonna be there, Bad Bone's gonna be there, Alpha Female gonna be there," I was like, "Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy."
Yeah, I've looked into it because I've recently rediscovered my own old Hasbro figures, and I'm thinking about getting more into collecting that kind of stuff again. So I looked into all the other retro lines that are coming out and some of that stuff that's available. And yeah, I've seen that you've been scheduled to come out as well. So I think that's pretty cool. Do you collect any kind of wrestling figures, or is it mostly Funko Pops and anime stuff?
In the past, I have like a lot of not the Hasbro one, but I don't remember this one. Not the new one, the one
No
just in
checks
the
in
middle.
between. Checks came out like in
I
the
think
mid
so.
to late 90s, and I think they were
Yeah,
around on.
19 between the 19 and 2000. I got a lot of them, and I needed money to travel to Canada, so I sell them almost all of them. I think I just kept one from Kane, and that's all. That's all.
What,
I remember
right?
selling one with Mankind, and I think I sold it like 500 euro, something like that. I make a
Oh,
lot
it's
of
pretty
money
good.
with it, and I know I'm a
But
bit sad because like it was a very nice collection, and I don't think I will be able to collect all of them once again. So I kind of sad of it, but it really helped me out to travel to Canada and realize my dream. So
yeah, it's cool. So basically, your wrestling paid for your wrestling figures, paid for your wrestling education. So that
yeah,
is a pretty cool story. So why did you keep the Kane figure? Was he like your favorite wrestler as a kid, or why just
yeah,
him?
it was after the Undertaker. He was the guy because I think he moved well for such a big and tall guy,
Yeah,
and also because it was really like in terms of winning money on the selling of it. I didn't win any money of it, so I was like, "Oh, okay, this one I keep it." Also, I wouldn't have made that much benefit from selling it, so I just keep it.
that's pretty cool. Okay, thank you. So I think we've covered most of the important stuff. This will come out, yeah, this week and next week when it comes out on the free channel for everybody. Will be on the Thursday. The kickoff inner circle will take place for 16 Carat in Oberhausen. So yeah, if I'm going to see you there. And hopefully I'll see some of our listeners and viewers there as well. Any final words, any bookings, any upcoming bookings you would like to promote after Carat? And where can people find out more? Twitter, social media, Instagram, and stuff like that.
Yeah. If I check up my phone, I can let you know, but my phone is not there. So most of the time, if you see a wXw poster, I will be there. I really felt like wXw is like a very big family for me. I really like I say this quite a few times, but like I love being there. I love the people there. So I really like prioritize my booking and try to be there as much as possible. Um, So every time you see a wXw poster, I will be there for sure. And then you can see me in France, APC most of the time also. RIXE, Bodizoy, I will be there the 27th of May. Belgium, Passion Pro, Hungary, maybe the 3 or the 2nd of June. I think it's the 2nd and the 3rd of June. And I think the rest is almost only wXw. I really try to be as much as possible there. I know I got a lot of booking coming up until the end of the year, and I already can tell 3 or 4 bookings in other promotion just to be at wXw. So I think it's the place you have to go if you want to see me wrestle.
Yeah, I mean, never not had fun at a wXw show, so
Yeah,
can highly recommend
also,
that.
yeah, great wrestling. I love them, but they also wrestle well. So yeah, if you want to watch good wrestling, you need to go there.
Yeah, Tristan, thank you very, very much for taking your time and talking to us, taking us with you on your journey through Europe and the world. And yeah, I'll see you at 16 Carat, and all the best. Good luck, and hopefully you can reclaim your championship there.
3 times, 3 times. Yes, it would be great. I mean, I will give my best to go as far as possible, and it's also my very first 16 carat. And 16 carat is everybody knows about 16 carat. It's like Bola, it's like super strong style. It's 16 carat. So I'm very excited about it, and I hope I will see a lot of you guys showing up and come and see us wrestle and enjoy this 4 days of pure wrestling.
Yeah, that's great parting words. Thank you very much, and see you guys soon.
See you. Bye.